stage. We have to look at influencing factors. What's going on? What are the social norms? What's everybody doing? What is how people with their knowledge, where they're staying, where we're at. We need people understand that they're influencing factors, and this might be something that we have to change. A barrier to change. What is standing in the way? It could be something as simple as maybe the person needs condoms but doesn't know where to get them, or they need to get to a clinic but they don't know what the clinic is, or how to get the transportation to get there. So we need to be able to have a barrier that can be overcome. And the story has to end on a positive outcome. And the positive outcome could be something as simple as know where the needle exchange program was, with information where it is, and I know that I have the map of the bus to show me how to get there and what bus to take. That could be the positive outcome. They didn't have that knowledge at the beginning of the story, but now that they know about it, they're actually thinking about going. So all these 8 components are very, very, very important to run a story. So we did Voices in the Community. We looked at these 8 components as each story was written. And stories are going to have a couple of different behavioral determinants that might be adding to the risk. We did a series of 12 stories. Tyshawn was our first story, a young African-American man. He was having sex with men like himself in the hood, and it was his belief that only older white gay men were at risk for HIV, so he didn't perceive it was at risk. The cover looked like these are the people that helped us write the story. He looked young. He was Asian and Pacific. He was 52-years old, lived in the suburbs. He was married, but he was having sex with men that he met in chat rooms. And we realized that everything that you see in chat rooms might not be the truth, what people have posted on their profiles. So these are the people that helped us write the story. A young Latino man, 26, very, very heavily involved in his church. Had a face, wasn't going to be having sex with her, so he was having oral sex performed on him, and he was doing insertive sex with other men. And firmly that he was not at risk for HIV or STDs until somebody from the health department showed up at his door. And these are people that wrote Carlos' story. Luchita is a mixed African-American Latino, young, 28 years old, married. She ends up getting a phone call that the man that her husband is having sex with was sharing. And he gave a little too much information, so she knew it was true. She's married, she has 2 children. He's working, he provides for her. She's not working. What'd she do? Yes, we needed to have Luchita get checked out for STDs and HIV. People that did her story. Scott is a young 20-year-old male who just settled into city and did a lot of club and bar scenes and just very and again has no notion that he's at risk when he meets somebody that is like him that was at risk and didn't realize it as well. Lisa is a young transgender who's living in a home, is involved in the Vol community, and is using needles of one of the roommates to inject hormones. And again, not cleaning the needles, and we need to make the release needed to know that there was a risk there. This is the people that heard her story. One is a Latino 17-year guy who is out and has found a man that he's involved with, and the other partners, Juan hasn't, and in school realizes that everybody needs to get tested. And the story is how he could approach his partner saying, you know what, we both need tested. Who did? One. 45-year-old suburban man, or actual man living in the country, but is meeting a man in the park and having anonymous sex. And he needs to get tested. He realizes that he's going to be at risk, but he can't get tested because his doctor is no friend of the family's. So Martin had the knowledge of where to go to get tested. So that's what his story is all about. Who's a young African male, and he's dealing coke. Well, he ends up in jail, and sometimes he might have oral sex performed while he's there from other inmates, and didn't believe that he was at risk for anything. He has a friend and a baby in the way, and he realizes that if he's going to be a good father, he needs to kind of clean his act up. White 30-year-old male lives out in the suburbs, been HIV positive. His whole perception is, you know what, well, adults have to make decisions for themselves. It's not up to me to disclose my status to anybody. At dinner, he realizes that the guy his sister is now dating, he's been with sexually. And he got thinking, if he infected that guy and the guy infected his sister, what would they do? And he wants to protect his sister. So he's at least going to start thinking about using protection. Hurro, 40, Caribbean African male, gay identified, who's a chronic substance user for over 20 years. He's all worn down. He's scared of it. He wants to get his life together. And now he needs information on how to get into some type of drug treatment program. A young 20-something male identified who is with HIV/AIDS, but he doesn't know his status. And he's trained. He would use sex for drugs, for a place to stay, and recently has been named as a contact for gonorrhea and needs to get checked out. The stories are then, after written and reviewed, they're passed out, and our peer advocates are the messengers. These are the people that know the people within the community, and these are the people that will pass the stories out for us. What we did is we used gatekeepers, and these were our student HIV prevention outreach workers from community-based organizations and community-based health clinics that helped identify the peer advocates. We come together, and I would meet with their advocates, set trainings, train them about stories, about information on HIV and STDs. Our peer advocates were able to go out into the community, into the drug houses, into areas where, as an outreach worker, we couldn't get. But they would get to locations and deliver the stories for us. And our peer advocates were absolutely wonderful in delivering our stories. Two different types of peer advocates. There's a business peer advocate, and there are the people who are doing the outreach. Our business peer advocates, and we had a large portion of shops. They were out, so they were businessmen that had the stories in their barbershops and could pass them on as they were talking to customers that were at risk. Other business peer advocates can be places that can help you with different venues for putting together meetings or parties for your peer advocates. They maybe even can connect you with some types of tokens and prizes that we can hand out to our peer advocates. But the peer advocates themselves are part of the population, and they are the ones that are reaching the people that we cannot get to, that are going to help make the changes in our community to lower